Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Town of Pike Road's meeting for the second meeting for the month of June. We're glad to have everybody. Thank you for being here. We'll call our meeting to order, and I'll ask Councilman Furman if he will open us in prayer, please, sir.
Sure. Lord, thank you so much for today. Thank you for the life and for health, for the beauty of what you've created. Thank you for continuing to lead us and guide us and give us direction. Pray that you would continue to show us a path forward for our town and for the business of the day. Pray that you would bless our conversation and deliberations that may occur, and those represented here, the communities, the families, the businesses. Pray that you continue to show us the path forward so that we can flourish as a community as you see fit. In Christ's name I pray. Amen.
Thank you very much. If you guys would join us in a pledge, please. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, and we encourage, ask you to remember that this is our celebration of America this week. Tomorrow night is Summerfest out at our Agricultural Recreation Performing Arts Park off of Trotman Road, where our ball fields and arena are. It's a wonderful setting, and we hope you'll join us. We start at 6. It's family, fun, food, fireworks, festivity, lots of games for young people, just a fun environment. So join us tomorrow night if you would, as we think about and celebrate America and our 250th birthday. How cool is that? But anyway, we'll ask our clerk now if she'll note that we have all our council members present. Thank you all for being here. That means we have a quorum and we can conduct business. With that, we'll go to consideration of our minutes. There's a motion to adopt the minutes from our June 8th regular meeting and our June 23rd work session, presented by Councilman Steindorf, second by Councilman Robinson. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. So ordered. Thank you very much. Ms. Denna is here this morning to give us our financial report. Thank you, Denna, for your hard work. You, Lisa, and the team.
Good morning.
Glad to have you.
Good morning, Mayor Stone, council members. I will be presenting the May 2026 financial statements on behalf of Carregs Ingram. As of May 31st, the available cash is $20,313,000. This cash balance represents 32 months of operating expenses as described in the adopted budget for 2026. The available cash has decreased $937,000 less than last month and increased $999,000 more than last year. The fund balance stands at $19,646,000, an increase of $127,000 more than May of 2025. Year-to-date revenues are $9,604,000, a decrease of $39,000 less than May of 2025. Current year-to-date net income is $2,487,000. When comparing to last year, it represents a decrease of $484,000. Please note we've switched from annual to quarterly capital improvement transfers. The Town of Pike Road's target ratio for year-to-date net income to year-to-date revenues is set at a minimum of 10%. Currently, the Town of Pike Road is at 26%. When comparing the primary sources of revenue collections of May of 2026 to May of 2025, ad valorem receipts are up 4%, sales use tax receipts are up 12%, business contractor licenses are down 12%, building permits and fees are up 9%, and franchise fees are up 25%. Overall revenues collected in May of 2026 are less than 1% difference than last year. Are there any questions?
I had one. The available cash for Pike Road Station is down. But the overall revenue was up. Income, did we just have a lot of improvements on this building so far?
We have had some like air conditioner replacements.
I figured because it jumped from like 2,000 to 12,000 in the hole, and I was just wondering if it was because of the improvements. So overall, the revenue is just okay. Thank you.
Good news is we've renewed some leases, so we are not looking at any tenants leaving at the moment. That's a good thing, always. So, any other questions? Thank you, Dana, for the great job. Is there a motion to accept the financials? Motion by Councilor Bratcher, second by Councilman Furman to approve the financial reports as presented. Seeing no discussion, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. So ordered. Thank you very much. All right, we have some old business. It's a carryover from our ordinance that was recommended by our development code update group. They have presented us with some additional pauses to action for us to allow them to have time to work, and y'all saw that at the last meeting. We'll ask anything that our planning department would like to share, and then any discussion from council before we take action.
Just as before, this is a pause on select uses as part of that regulation updates, and the goal is to, in this time period, review, revise, clarify the standards for these uses in that window of the regulation updates.
Are all, just one quick question, are all these categories within the B2?
I believe so, but
Okay.
I'd have to see.
The reason I just ask is because I was just doing some research and saw in some other places where they do things like this, that it also, the zoning categories also recognized in the ordinance, and I guess that's not relevant if our attorneys have already looked at it. It doesn't matter that we don't have to reference that. So like, such as, I mean, car washes, liquor stores, smoke shops within B2, that we don't have to stipulate that.
I don't think so.
I don't
There was no
believe we can.
recommendation.
I'm making sure, I just
Yes, ma'am.
noticed, because that, when I was just looking at other ones, that was stipulated. It was
Well-
these categories within this zoning.
Right, it may be because, and I think part of the clarification there is, since we also have smart code zoning across our sector, by B2 only relates to the traditional zoning.
Okay.
So this allows you to do it comprehensively
All over.
across the
That
town.
as well.
Okay, so it's no changes recommended to this. Is there this is the second reading of this, so we can take action today. Is there a motion? Is there a second?
I'm second.
Motion approved by Councilman Wiley, second by Councilman Steindorf to move forward with the adoption of this ordinance. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Thank you very much. Good job. Tell those guys keep working. That's all of our old business. Then we'll move to new business. We have 5 items within the new business category. Annexation of 2678 Pine Acres Road is the first item for us this morning. Mr. Rigsby.
Yes, sir. This is annexation petition for 2678 Pine Acres Road. The petitioner here is Scott and Catherine Brown. Pine Acres, if you don't know, is a gravel road just off of Pike Road, just north of Beaupaysage. This is approximately 5-acre property, and it is infill, as you can see from the graphic from the map there. Property on all 3 sides, or on 3 sides of it, is in the town. And I believe the applicant is here. The applicant is here.
Great. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your interest in the town. So this is the first reading, council. If you have any questions, the applicant is here. We can certainly ask him to come forward. Otherwise, we will consider this presented, and we'll take action on this per Alabama law at the next council meeting that it can be on the agenda. That good? Everybody, no questions? Thank you. All right, so the next item is another annexation, first reading, 217 Buckhead Drive.
Yes, sir. 217 Buckhead Drive. This is John and Nancy Olszewski. Hope I got that right. Buckhead
Close.
is off of
Close.
Buckhead's off of Pecan Tree, and Pecan Tree Lane is there between Chantilly and Vaughn, as you can see there in the graphic. It's approximately 2.5 acres, and again, this is just filling in property that's surrounded by property that's in the town. And the applicant is here.
Smiling. Smiling in the back. once again, thank you for being here. Council, again, first reading, any questions? If not, we'll have these again on the next agenda that's appropriate for the second reading and the vote, which is per state law that ordinance is required to have a first reading, then a pause. So, thank you. Sorry to make you get up early for no questions, but we're glad to have all interested parties who want to make our town complete and whole, and thank you. All right, we'll move to resolution 2026. These next three items work together. They are related to the same item. As you know, council and public that's here, we've been working collaboratively with our school system and on a number of other community-based projects to make sure that we have a good plan for going forward. And our team, our financial management council and our team has really done a good job of giving us some options. That's why we have the funding agreement, the bond parameters, and the revenue sourcing on the agenda this morning. So with that, I won't necessarily separate these. I'll just ask our council to come forward, and then anything you want us to, when you've appropriately explained it, we can take action on the individual pieces.
Thank you. Thank you,
Mr.
Mayor.
Graves, thank you.
So the first resolution before you is a resolution to approve a funding agreement. We've been working closely with the Pike Road Board of Education to secure funding for additional operating capital needs in relation to the opening of the new high school. The opening of the new high school is planned for January, but they are in the process of ramping up and hiring now to plan for that opening. This funding agreement will provide for a layer of funding that comes from both general fund allocation and certain allocation of tax proceeds. The funding agreement includes financial covenants of the board and measures that would allow the town and the board to continue this relationship they have and continue communications and planning for the future. With that's we've gone over the funding agreement work session yesterday. I'm happy to answer any further questions. I do have one item to discuss, which is the board is agreeing to transfer a portion of property to the town in relation to the funding agreement. In the process of that transfer, we propose to, and we will be indemnifying the board with respect to any liability that would stem from a restriction that is placed on that property currently. I've worked with the board's counsel yesterday afternoon and last night to come to that indemnity in the event that the prior property owner who placed the restriction on that land consents in really a pretty timely fashion at this point to allow that to proceed without that restriction. Then we don't have to do the indemnity, but I offered it up. I don't think it's going to be a problem, and it's just a broad indemnity where if the seller has an issue with the transfer, then we agree to handle any issues for the board.
Did you, the superintendent was present yesterday and made the representation that he had a meeting right after that with the landowner. Did you get feedback on that?
I did not. My understanding is the counsel for the board talked to the counsel for the landowner, and they were working through any issues.
Okay.
But I went ahead and drafted the indemnity and provided it to their counsel, and they signed off on it last night.
So that answer should be within a week or two?
I would think so. I would think so. With the indemnity, they may not proceed any further, but in that instance, then it would be on our responsibility, which is how it was planned, to handle any restrictions on that property.
It's my understanding, if I'm clarified, that then this, by virtue of this, what council is proposing, we then get to go talk to the landowner. It allows us to have that conversation versus them having to have that conversation.
The point was to not require the board to have to go to the landowner, that we would handle that. And the hiccup came up at the last minute where their counsel, the board's counsel, determined that they thought they might have an issue with going ahead with the transfer. And so that's why we came up with this process.
I see a question.
I'm just,
Pending question.
I think it's just not relevant to the exact agreement. But it is relevant to just understanding, how you can have a restriction without a first right of refusal.
Yeah, it's
so
a little odd.
From an
Yeah.
enforcement perspective, I'm not real sure. I understand that, and so what obviously we have a great working relationship with the board. Should something not occur, we could always go back and do an amendment to this agreement or do something that would make sense for both parties. I have that confidence, and so but I still am kind of baffled about entering into an agreement to purchase.
It's an odd deed in that there is no right of reversion or right of first refusal or reversion or anything with respect to that restriction. So it's a little odd, and it's a little gray as to what would be allowed as if somebody were to challenge the use of that property. It's a little hard to figure out what that challenge would look like.
Well, certainly we don't want to get there, but the
Right.
reality is the taxpayers of Pike Road, albeit through the school board in this situation, pay premium for that lot. They did not. There was no partnership. It was, in my opinion, high value. So I think those are negotiating tools that you'll have at that table as well. So
We look forward to being able to have those conversations.
with that, I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Councilor Bratcher, second by Councilman Furman to approve the funding agreement portion of this morning's presentation on these three items. Any other discussion on the motion at hand? See none. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Pose like sign. So ordered. Thank you very much, Council. Good work, Counselor, on that. Congratulations, School Board. Appreciate the opportunity to work together. The next item, please, sir.
So the next item is, in part of this process, we are reviewing capital needs of the school. The next item is a bond parameters resolution. This is really the first step in a bond issue, and what we're looking at doing is a capital project in relation to the intermediate school. The not to exceed amount on the bond. So the bond resolution sets parameters with respect to a future bond issue if you decide to go that route, if you approve the project. This resolution solely allows us to get started working on that, and it also allows any expenditures in relation to gearing up for that project to be reimbursed through taxes and proceeds of a future bond issue. So at a later date, the project will be presented to you, and then we'll work towards selling bonds. Resolution authorizes up to $20 million tax-exempt bonds with any number of general obligation pledges or pledges of special revenue, which would be the school tax.
Very same process we've used on all of our other bonds, just gets our team energized and allows them to go to work. Motion approved by Councilman Robinson.
Second.
Second by Councilor Watley. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Pose like sign. Thank you very much. Again, congratulations to the school leadership, and we look forward to working with you on that. If anything, that further solidifies to all the public, I hope, our collaborative working relationship, which I think is really been there for a long time, and just it's exciting to see it continue. So thank you for your work. The next item would be our final item, and that's revenue sourcing. As you know, we've been looking at all options. We discussed yesterday work session, lots of different possibilities, questions that occurred, brought up about different things. We have identified sources to move forward with. This would be the next step in moving in that direction to hopefully provide the revenue to support the funding agreement and other items in the town that we also know will be pending, and we'll discuss as we move through the rest of the summer pretty soon, actually. All right, with that, anything else, Mr. Grimes? This just is the first reading that allows us to move the process forward, allows our team to go to work with the Revenue Department and do all the procedural activity we have to do before it comes back to you all for a second reading and a final decision. And allows you, council members, if you have any questions, call me, call Lisa, call whomever, and talk through it, and we can learn more about it. But this is a multifaceted benefit. I want to make sure with some parameters within the town too that have been stipulated yesterday that have been identified as potential use areas for the funding. Cool? We good? All right. Is there an action?
This is first reading.
Oh, that's right.
First reading.
Sorry. First reading. I'm just reading past something else. We just keep on. No, we just been moving, y'all. No. Well, if there is, you could have action.
We can.
You could have
Suspend the
action.
rules.
No, that's good. First reading. You're right. Thank you, Rob. It's good to have a pro tem who can keep you straight here. Anyway, so congratulations again, all parties, for your hard work in getting to that point. I see our council has come forward to ask us. He has a piece of business for us, but before we do that, we have no other new business. I do want to mention one piece of other business. Again, just reinforce. That's all right, Mark. This won't take but a second. Just reinforcing. I saw Jennifer walk in. We are still taking volunteers for tomorrow night. If anybody wants to help out or be a part of the welcome committee or work in any of the special booths or whatever, please don't hesitate to sign up. We had a great volunteer meeting last night, and appreciate so much. If you want to see the collaboration of a community, go to a volunteer meeting before a big community event that'll have 2,000 people there, and just see all the people in the room. It was really exciting. The school support groups, the community support groups, the fire departments, the sheriff's department, all the people that are involved, really kudos. And just a big thank you to our team. Every member of our team is involved tomorrow night. And everybody in town hall, everybody across the whole platform, and Jennifer Grace Kendrick and her team just really going. And I can't wait for y'all to see. I have to brag on this. I can't wait for you to see the mural wall. Because I had one of those pinch me moments yesterday when I went over there and I saw Ellen Barnett, one of our high school graduates, was up on a ladder painting the last pieces of it, refining it. And it's just going to be a really cool thing. We have a debut of America 250 mural that's been painted by Pike Road folks. It's on a trailer. We're asking families to sign it, and we're going to have it there tomorrow. We'll debut it tomorrow night. Bless you. And then we're going to move it around the town. It posts to different neighborhoods, different spots, and encourage people to come out and sign it so you can have a family photo being a part of this 250th celebration. So be there tomorrow night, hopefully. And then if not, you'll be able to see in our communication outreach from Vince that some of the different locations. So just that little commercial and invitation to any and all who want to volunteer. Jennifer's in the back. She's got her phone ready if you want to give her your phone number. Anyway, that's my commercial for this morning. Be a fun night, and the weather's going to be great, so that's good too. All right, council.
We have a legal matter that requires an executive session. As you know, the Alabama Open Meetings Act requires that all meetings of the council be in public. However, it has exceptions, and one of those exceptions is litigation or potential litigation. We have some litigation that we need to discuss in executive session, so we need a motion and a second and a vote on the record.
All right. Is there a motion to go into executive session? Second. Motion by Council Furman, second by Councilman Steindorf. This requires a countable stated vote, so we'll go down the line. Yes, and yes. All right. We'll take 15 minutes. Shouldn't be much longer than that. Go into executive session. We'll see y'all back here in 15 minutes. Thank you. Clearly, I'm the worst timekeeper in the state of Alabama. That's a long 15 minutes. All right. Is there a motion to come back into session? Motion by Councilman Furman, second by Councilman Robinson. All in favor, say aye. We're back in session now. We'll move forward with our other business. Anything else, council members? Thank you for your hard work. I hope you all enjoy your families and your time. Hope to see you tomorrow night. It's going to be a big party, lots of fun. Big family party, what I mean to say about that. With that, motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion to adjourn and Councilman Steindorf, a flurry of seconds. Clerk, you could pick your second. All in favor of adjourn, please let it be known by saying aye. Opposed, like sign. We're adjourned. Public comment, please. Is there? Yes, sir. Come forward, please.
Yeah, I've been around for a while. I just wanted to approach the board. I have a professional service contract pitch for GIS services. I have my own geospatial company. I started here in Pike Road in 2021. And then ultimately, I've got about 20 years of federal government experience in local and state governments, Department of War contracts. I got a presentation here. I just want to give you guys a simple contract. And so I got it. My wife put it on. It's got just my presentation and my qualifications on there. And then I got a contract. Hopefully you guys look at it. It's on the back part. And so ultimately, I worked for ADECA for about 20 years or so, doing Office of Water Resources work, floodplain mapping, and then essentially doing CDBG grants and surplus property, assisting with those kind of things. So from a town perspective, that knowledge and expertise would be pretty cool to have. Got my bachelor's degree in geography from Auburn University, and then ultimately been doing GIS work since then. And so started my contract for the Air Force in 2021, and then I also had a contract for the city of Montgomery as well. It was one of my first contracts, and so did enterprise work for them, mapping, emergency mapping response. From a town perspective, if we have special projects, economic development, zoning, voting, and we need to do on-the-fly mapping, we can do those kind of things. And then specialized integration. You know, we got an emergency or something going on, we need to do some drone mapping, GIS integration. I was discussing with the planner earlier, doing online web mapping as opposed to having a static PDF map. If we got those acquisitions, we need to add those parcels. Then I've got the contacts with the county. I already got parcel data and stuff like that, but essentially you just be adding those parcels to the town's boundaries. And so just hope you guys will consider the contract. We got a couple of different packages. I put together a $35,000 package for you guys. That's annually. That would be able to assist the planners and you guys with anything you would need GIS related. And then ultimately being able to retain those services from year to year. I know you guys had a specialist maybe a couple of years back. We were at a GIS conference. He's like, I used to be the Pike Road GIS guy, and he was moving to Gulf Shores. And I'm like, yeah, who wouldn't want a job at Gulf Shores? And so the contracts give you the ability to be able to retain knowledge and service, and then ultimately even train new employees. And so that way you're not looking for a new GIS guy every year or so. And so gives you the ability to be upwardly mobile with GIS, with licensing and support, knowing the newest trends and technology that is coming out. And so just wanted to come and present to you guys. I've been making sample contracts for the town of Pike Road since 2021. When I was going through my notes, I saw one from 2024 with the old planner. And so I said, hey, I'm just gonna come straight to you guys this time and see and present and see if you guys would think that would be a great idea. And then hopefully we can do some work for you guys in the future. So that is all I have.
So what I would recommend, take your contract. Thank you for doing this. That's great effort and wonderful knowledge. Make an appointment with Lisa to sit down with Daryl and Lisa and I and get we'll get Keith Covington. So that's our planning team.
Okay.
And it sounds like there's some things that you're doing that we could benefit from, but you know, we want to plug it into our planning department the way they work. So that would be what I would suggest be a great next step. Anything?
No, I love the hustle. I mean, I'm impressed.
Yeah.
And GIS, electronic mapping, all those are things that I've been talking about and screaming out. I'm not saying that we're capable or not, but there's, I mean, you know, being a citizen, you and I've talked about this before at a social recently, that we certainly have opportunities. Anybody that understands, but you know, he was able to let me know how many opportunities we have. Have you ever worked with anybody, or when you say you presented stuff like in 21, 24, you did bring that to the town and didn't hear back?
No,
oh, okay. You were just saying hypothetically.
No.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
I think the previous planner was Jonathan, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I've only come in front of the board. I think I talked about maps. I was telling somebody the first time I came here was like 2017, and it was contentious because there was an annexation going on at Bun, and boy, it was like 20 people here complaining. And I got up and I was like, "Hey, you need a better map." And the council lady that was sitting right there, she was like, "Do you have anything else to add?" I'm like, "Well, that's
That was, she was sitting over here. It wasn't me, 'cause that was me over there. I was the one sitting over here. I remember.
Hey, no, here's
I
the way.
love it.
Here's
But thank you so
professional-
much for your energy too, and your
Thank
interest, and just your citizenship in Pike. I've seen you for years, and I just love the tenacity. It's
Well, we have
impressive.
we have a wonderful relationship with partners, and partners that bring value or have been a huge part of our working model. So just the way that works would be get with Lisa, get with our planning department, get this in the process, and we look at it and see what we already. There may be some things we're already doing that you're not aware of, and let's look through all that and explore. I think
Sounds
it's great. Thank you for your effort.
Thank y'all. Appreciate it. Ms. Lisa, you'll be hearing from me.
All right, that's great. Jen, any last things to?
I'm away at work.
We'll be there.
Yep. And Peyton, wave at everybody. Peyton is our newest administrative support person working with planning. We're very excited to have her. We've had that position in planning for a while, and then Dee was here for a little while, and then Dee left, got married, and moved. So Peyton has joined us to work with Sherry and Lisa and Tammy and the team on helping out with all of our planning work. So that's great. Peyton, we're glad to have you. Thank you for joining the team, and she'll be out. She's going to get indoctrinated Summerfest on week 2. So all fun. All right. Anything else? Y'all have a great week. See y'all. Happy 4th.